It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. And on tap tonight, it's the New Orleans Pelicans going up against the Washington Wizards out at Capital One Center. And guys, for the Wizards, they haven't competed at the level they'd like over the last week or so. Just one win in 5 games. One of the players we'll see tonight, Brandon Ingram, second overall pick in 16, has drawn some comparisons to Kevin Durant, but Kenny, he's still got a ways to go.
Yeah, we know it could take a while, but he's going in the right direction. I mean, he's a little undersized in terms of weight, but his ability...
It's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah,
he's skinny.
Okay, he's a little skinny.
Thank you, Ernie. His shooting efficiency is a work in progress, but he has the length to impact all areas of the game.
That'll wrap it up as we take you courtside. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
I don't like the word skinny.
Slender.
There he is.
It's the Wizards in Washington for a little interconference action in the nation's capital. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, and we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. This is the last stop for the Pelicans before returning to New Orleans. It's been a bit of a slow start for the season for them so far, but it's still very early and a lot of games to be played.
And you know, for the Pelicans, what a slow start they've gotten off to. At least they have enough time to still get things going here in the right direction.
They do have time, and they do have talent. There's no question they've got some very gifted players, but they haven't been playing up to their capabilities so far.
Early in a season, how many of these surprising losses can really be considered upsets, do you think?
You know, the great teams, they look at it's like a marathon. They're looking to just get better. But I think for the younger teams, they will love to gain some confidence in knocking off some of these playoff favorites or these teams that's been, I guess, picked by us, the media and the fans, as the favorites. But I think a lot of teams look at it as let's just build. It's more about building to the end of the season versus at the beginning of the season.
Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. They've got Favors. ABC is out there with Ingram. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Jackson in at the point. Williamson, the pass to Ingram, and too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Wizards ball.
Now here's Wall. Outside Bryant. That's tipped. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on J.J. Redick.
Wizards.
And Bradley Beal earning that first All-Star nod in 2018, a top 20 scorer. He can hurt you from just about anywhere on the court.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. And Beal just turned 25. Have we seen his best, or do you think he can take his game to even another level?
I think the key is going to be him staying healthy. Injuries have kind of plagued him early in his career. With health, he'll be able to refine his game and fortify his defense and expand that offensive repertoire.
That one misses. And here are the Pelicans. It's a 3-point game. Here's Ingram. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
That's his first.
And how about the deceptive strength of Ingram, just willing his shots in over the defense?
New Orleans shooting their first free throw of the night here.
And Ingram, the former Blue Devil, an extraordinary player who only promises to get better.
And so it's Wall. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. He'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with head coach Alvin Gentry. What's the news there, David?
Well, Kevin, they're going to keep it simple tonight. He wants to run everything through the low post. He told me, physically, we're the stronger team, and we need to use that strength to our benefit. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And that one drops.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
Well, obviously, this was the strategy coming in. Feed him the rock and let him go to work.
Here's Williamson. Wall grabs the board.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
And the rejection by Favors.
The long reach of Favors have a real impact, especially when he leaves the ground quickly in time for blocks.
And Alvin Gentry's been coaching in the NBA for almost 3 decades now. Steve, he knows how to get things done.
And a lot of what Gentry does is gives his players freedom. As long as they take care of business, he won't meddle too much. Does a great job of managing personalities and keeping egos in check.
So it's Washington now. Derek Favors unable to get his shot to go, and that one is good.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
A lot of laziness going on out there. Still early in the game, but that needs to get worked out.
Now here's Jackson. Dishes it to Favors. Over Bryant. Favors can't get it to go.
That was the best he could do. Just fade a little bit, try and get a clean look, but the defense was right on him.
And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
You know, that's another good play call. They are shooting 80% to start this game.
The Wizards shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
One shot, gentlemen.
The Pelicans, they've seen improvement over the past few seasons. Offense has become more and more efficient. Defensively, have gone from a poor defensive team to a top 10 defensive team in just one season.
Now here's Ingram. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. And slam dunk by Ingram.
And the speed of Ingram makes him a nightmare for defenses in pick and rolls, constantly keeping them guessing.
And Steve, with the Pelicans' improvement, a lot of it has to do with the work their players have put in.
2 guys that come to mind for me are Drew Holiday and E'Twaun Moore. Both those guys have improved a lot. The team's had a plan to improve for several years now, and they stuck with it. A lot of franchises might have demanded overnight success, but the Pelicans front office avoiding rushing progress.
Now Redick. Bradley Beal missing from long range. 6 to shoot. The deep 3 from Redick. Wall grabs the board. Washington leading now by 5. Decker uses the glass to finish the layup.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Here's Jackson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Pass to Williamson. Ingram outside. The pass to Williamson. Favors trying to break free from down in the low post. It goes. So timeout called here, the first for Washington. We often hear great players say, I want to be the leader of this team. But Smitty, is every great player actually cut out? Are they wired enough to be a leader and play that role?
No, not at all. You have some fantastic, phenomenal players talent-wise, but just not their role to be a leader. And then I think when you hear guys say they want to be a leader, 9 times out of 10, that's the guy that's not the leader. Because a leader usually just evolves. But when you start saying you want to be, you're probably not. You're going to lead by example. And then a lot of the guys, obviously, some of the best, they can take it to the vocal part. But you can't ask to be a leader. It just happens.
Needs to happen organically, doesn't it?
Yes, it is.
Going with a whole new group out there now. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Okafor is checked in for Favors. Diallo comes in for ABC. Josh Hart, he's checked in for Ingram. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for J.J. Redick. Now, here is Smith. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Moore after the basket by Washington. There's a minute 34 left to play in the first quarter. A floater, and the layup is good. Moore's got his first 2 points.
Showing he's not just a perimeter jump shooter. Etuan will push for a better shot if he sees an opening.
And Okafor with the block. Here's Hart to the left wing. Pass to Jackson. And the rejection by Mahinmi. And here comes Smith leading the fast break. That one falls coming off of Thomas's feet. Smith's got his second bucket of the night.
This is when Ish is at his best, in space and in transition.
Diallo kicks to Jackson. Passes it to Moore. 34 seconds left in the first. 2 points, that one goes.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Miles. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Raptors in Toronto. And it's in there.
Nice interior passing. And then the strong finish.
Pelicans trail by 7. Here's Hart. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Kicks to Okafor. Over Mahinmi. Okafor gets the bucket. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Washington out in front, up 5. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And being a smaller player is a challenge, but Isaiah Thomas always confident attacking the lane.
I just go in there. I've been doing it since I was a little boy. Like, I've always been the smallest guy out there, but when I get on the court, I feel like I don't see any height. So when I go in there in the paint, I expect myself to score or make a play for somebody else. And then, I mean, other people go crazy about it. I feel like it's normal.
Thomas brings that fearlessness, Greg. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's got a deep bag of tricks for finishing around bigger players. It's really something to watch.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
Yeah, their scoring's been on point. They've got the early lead. Always feels good when that happens.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. So for New Orleans right now, we've got Hayes. Jackson is out there with Ejuan Moore. Then there's Okafor, and it's Hart in at the 3. Thomas against Moore. Nice ball movement by Washington. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots from the elbow. Thomas, good. Thomas got the lead up to 7 now for Washington.
Attacking the defense with the pass. Love the unselfishness.
Jackson with the bounce pass. The feed to Okafor. It's stolen by Mahimi. Miles finds Thomas, and Jackson with the block. They retain possession. Miles, that's good. Miles has got his first points of the night.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Okafor inside, guarded by Mahimi. They grab their own miss. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. The Pelicans have shot just one free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game. New Orleans making some changes here. ABC's checked in for Hart. Brandon Ingram comes in for Ejuan Moore. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Frank Jackson.
One shot.
Free throw good, Okafor. More and more teams are emphasizing the transition game, Steve. What do you think it takes to be successful at that?
No, I think it comes down in the transition game if you have players, not just the point guard or the guy assigned to handle the basketball the most. When you have a lot of unselfish players, and what I mean by that is not a lot of guys can pass. You'd love to have that, Kevin, but also guys that will run and understand they won't get the bucket, but because they run and take a defender, that they allow a driving lane for their teammate to be able to score.
Here's Williamson following the basket by John Wall. Shot clock at 6. It's Redick on the wing, covered by Wall. Wizards leading by 8. He tries for 3. Redick with the rebound. The Pelicans have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Ingram against Beal. Pass to Williamson. He kicks it to Redick. Here's the 3. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Whenever Redick skies up for a three-pointer, you just think it's going in. He is as efficient as they come.
The pass to Decker. To the paint. And Decker slams it in.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Now, here's Redick. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against the Knicks in New York. Fires it up. Redick can't get that one to fall. The Wizards have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. And finished off by Beal.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Pass to Williamson. Misses in close.
I like the aggressive move on the layup attempt, but the defender, he just stayed right with him.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
Hayes. 2 shots. Foul.
That's his first personal foul.
The Wizards have made 2 of their previous 3 free throws in today's game.
at the line for two.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And the first one at the line is good. So for the Pelicans, Favors comes in for Okafor, and it's Check Diallo in for Hayes. He's perfect from the line this time. Ingram with it. 5 points in the game. And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
Chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for New Orleans.
And you can see how important those inside baskets are. This is a team that loves to work the ball inside, whether the entry pass or off of a drive. They like to feed on those high percentage looks.
Now here's Decker, guarded closely. Here's Wall. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, John Wall, Derrick Rose, and Russell Westbrook came into the league around the same time. All of them in the conversation for most athletic big point guard in league history. Of the three, I think John Wall, the most prolific playmaker, always looking to create for his teammates.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. And John Wall is such a multifaceted game, it almost feels wrong to call him a pure point guard. But that's what he is, isn't he? Just loves to set up his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And he can score at a high level, but that helps him as a playmaker. Guys thrive playing alongside him because he commands so much attention.
And he sinks the second.
And Wall has said he wants to be in the MVP conversation moving forward. A terrific floor general with unreal athleticism.
Now here's Ingram. He's got 5. 1:44 left to play in the first half.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And Wall kicks to Bryant. The shot from the low post is good. Bryant got his first basket of the night.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And here's Redick. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. They trail by 14. This their first look at this year's Washington squad.
And as good as a team as they were a year ago, they hated seeing these guys in their meetings. Just couldn't get it done against them.
Here's Williamson. 17 points for him last game against New York.
And his defense was absolutely outstanding, especially his 2 blocks, which helped turn the game.
ABC, another one falls for Washington.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
they've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
And, this can happen on the road. You're out defending guys who have just gotten into a comfort zone playing at home.
Well, you have to have an aggressive mindset, and you have to try to disrupt their rhythm.
Getting ready for the Wizards. Mahimi's checked in for Bryant. Davis Bertans comes in for Decker. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for ABC. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Bradley Beal. The Pelicans also changing it up. Josh Hart, he's checked in for ABC. Etuan Moore comes in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Frank Jackson in for J.J. Redick.
And it's been a tough past season and a half for Isaiah Thomas. Traded from Boston to Cleveland and then once again traded to the Lakers. Rare to see a guy get traded twice in a season following an MVP caliber performance like he had back in 2017.
And the first one drops. And both free throws good for Thomas. 46 seconds left to play in the first half. And Moore kicks to Favors. They get a hand on it. With some arc. Here's Diallo. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Moore against Wall. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the half. Clock at 6. Upside Thomas over Jackson. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. And so it's the Washington Wizards in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, they had control in the first half. How were they able to do that?
Well, we turned the ball over, and our transition defense wasn't very good. We got to do a better job of executing, and we got to do a better job of just taking the shots that are available to us.
One thing at a time. Get you back in. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. They were on a nice little roll in that opening period as they got their lead up as high as 7 points. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Pelicans.
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go.
Go over there.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Sam Decker, he's been really playing well.
I'll tell you, the scoring he gave them in the first half really made the difference.
Credit his teammates recognizing the hot hand.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. All at point with Beal to his side. They're the deadly backcourt pair. Brian is out there with Decker, and it's ABC in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Scott Brooks getting going here in the second half. Now here's Ingram. Pass to Reddick. Poked loose, and that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Smitty, with all the different arenas you've played in and all the cities you've traveled to as a player, which city do you think, looking back, was the hardest to play in for whatever reason?
This is an easy question. Detroit, Michigan, Kevin, because I was raised there and played college basketball. The ticket request going home was definitely hard.
I bet.
Because now you're starting to ask teammates, you're starting to ask everybody for tickets, and I just never had enough.
And it was expensive to buy tickets.
Yes, indeed.
And everyone wanted one.
Everybody. My first game, Kevin, ever back in Detroit, 300 tickets.
Oh.
Glad I had good teammates, though. They helped me.
And, Steve, you'll remember Favors had that impressive rookie season, but he's been somewhat up and down since.
He's kind of an old-school power forward. Might have been an all-star 20 years ago, but nowadays the best forwards can shoot from range and can defend on the perimeter.
Beal can't get it to go. Pelicans trail by 13. Jackson passes to Ingram. That shot off, and the Wizards now going the other way. Second half just getting started, about a minute played. And here's Decker. 8 points for him. Yep, that one goes. Decker's got 10.
The beauty of the teardrop, very difficult to really contest.
Jackson finds Favors. Now here's Ingram. He's guarded closely. And the wide open shot from Reddick. The three-pointer is right on target. 6 points for him.
That's Reddick shooting in a nutshell. A quick trigger release once he gets his hands on the ball.
Stolen by Jackson. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. And the dunk by Jackson.
And there's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set, and you can get some easy baskets here.
Now here's Wall. 7 points in the game. Over Jackson. Wall's shot is off.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
To the inside. And a slam dunk by Favors.
They needed a run desperately, and boy, did they come up big.
And this comeback was fueled by doing it on both ends of the floor. Let's see if they have that same energy level to keep this up.
Now here's Wall. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game.
You know, coming out of the half, you want to set the tone for the rest of the game. But going 1 for 4 is the wrong way to do it.
Beal can't get it to go.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Count that bucket.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
Pelicans trail by 10. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. West has been the dominant conference of late. It's been that way for a while, but out east, Steve, we're seeing the development of some great young rosters.
Yeah, over time, and obviously you see the balance of conferences go one way or other. When you have teams that just dominate and win championships, Usually you see that lopsidedness, and that's in the West right now. But on the East, I mean, that team, the Boston Celtics, we all can say if they're healthy, they got a chance to be in that conversation. You love the youth of the Philadelphia 76ers. And in Milwaukee, they need to add another player to go with Giannis, and they'll have a chance to be talked about as well.
Good overview. For the Wizards. Bertanis, he's checked in for Decker. C.J. Miles comes in for ABC. Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for Bradley Beal. And Smith subbed in for John Wall. New Orleans also making some changes. Okafor comes in for Derek Favors. And Hayes subbed in for J.J. Redick. Now here's Hayes. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ingram. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
And Ingram hits these mid-range jumpers in his sleep. The defense can't allow him to get going from there.
It's Miles on the wing. Kicks to Bryant. Back to Miles. Knocked away. Here's Jackson to the middle. That one's good, and the Washington lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Ingram.
He has great instincts on the offensive end. He's tough to contain.
Jackson against Smith. Outside Bryant. Thomas surveying the D. Smith on the wing. Over Jackson. And it's Smith missing.
I can tell you right now, the coach loved everything about that shot except the result. Ish Smith, an excellent backup point guard, more than capable of holding down the starting spot as well.
Well, Steve Ish Smith with speed to burn. Man, can he fly.
Like a rocket, he pushes the pace. As fast as he plays, he keeps his turnovers extremely low.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loop shots.
And he makes the first. Wizards making a switch here. Mahimi's checked in. Hart, he's checked in for New Orleans. Etuan Moore comes in for Frank Jackson. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Here's Thomas. The shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Thomas got his second bucket tonight.
And how about the terrific use of the crossover there to just throw the defender off balance.
Here's Williamson, defended by Miles. Fades back, and that one, good. ABC's got 5.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Thomas kicks to Mahimi. And Thomas now, top of the key. Here's Bertans, covered by Hayes. Thomas, no good.
He is really forcing things now. Doesn't have to do it because his teammates are picking up the slack.
Yep, it counts.
2 points.
Now just a 3-point Wizards lead.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here's Thomas. He has 6. In the corner, Miles with it. That's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. Thomas got his 3rd assist on the night.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Here's Williamson. He has 5. 12 seconds left in the third. Inside. Here's Miles. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's the Washington Wizards with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Very unselfish. If you appreciate teamwork, this is the kind of play that will get you up out of your seat.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. So the Pelican 5 right now. ABC is out there with Diallo. Then it's Ingram. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Okafor in at the 5 spot. Pelicans trail by 6. New Orleans moving it around, and slam dunk by Ingram.
He's a great shooter, but not just a gunner. J.J. finding the open man.
Washington shooting it really well, 54% from the floor. And Beal kicks to Thomas. Bullseye! And the Wizards lead by 6.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, he could have made a better choice. He left him an easy one. Let's see how he plays the next screen.
Now here's Ingram. Back to Okafor. Pulls up again. The Pelicans score.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Washington leading now by 4. Outside Thomas. He feeds it to Decker. Thomas passes to ABC. Urginus. And it's Williamson with the rebound.
And this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting their mid-range jumper as well.
Now here's Okafor. Good.
2 points.
Okafor's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Thomas against Redick. Thomas kicks to Bertans. Left side, Beal releases. The good-looking shot from the wing.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, this is when you need them, late in the game. It's not all about scoring.
Now, here's Redick. He dishes it to Ingram. Pass to Okafor. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Williamson. And he drops it in from the low post.
On the attack, he has that ability, trying to close this one out.
Yeah, and the rim protection, not there. You expect someone to at least come over and contest.
Bertans' shot is good.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And for Isaiah Thomas going into free agency, what he thought might be a big payday opportunity was, Greg, anything but that.
A few years ago, he was talking about backing up the Brinks truck. Had to take a deal to prove he can still play. Has had a tumultuous past few years, but this deal could work out for the team if he can get back to form.
I'm so excited. Makes me want to shout. Gee, I feel so lucky now to have you all along, girl. I really love the way you look, girl. Whenever I'm young, baby, you blow my mind.
And then for New Orleans, Favors comes in for Okafor, and it's Jackson in for Diallo. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Alvin Gentry told his team during the break. He told his guys they've got the green light to keep shooting from downtown. He told them, I like the way you guys are working out there. Keep finding the open spaces on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots. We'll see if they step it up from here, guys.
Pelicans trail by 4. It's Ingram on the wing. And it's Bradley Beal with the rebound.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot. This is what your spacing is designed to do, find cracks in the defense.
And so it's New Orleans with it after the basket by Washington. Here's Williamson. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And that's now 9 points for ABC. Washington leading now by 4. Now Thomas. Outside Beal. Shoots over Redick. They get the rebound. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
A terrific offensive rebounder. Here he is doing it again.
One shot behind the lanes.
The free throw drops for Bryant. Pelicans trail by 7. 1:57 left in the game. Williamson in transition. Here come the Wizards. Beal gets a wide open look. Gets an open look and hits. Beal's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, this is what every coach emphasizes. Keep your head up. Be willing to make the extra pass.
Jackson from long range. Rebound, Washington. ABC's got 4 rebounds in this game. He kicks it to Thomas. We've got 1:28 left in the game. And the rejection by Favors. Here's the break. Redick passes to Ingram. Basket good.
How about the versatility of Ingram? Just remarkable at putting the ball in the hoop in really a variety of ways.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They lead by 7. 1:15 left in the game. Our Jordan Player of the Game, ABC.
And he's got to be thrilled with how well he shot the ball, Kevin. Good on almost 60% of his shots. That's what I call an efficient performance. And a team loves having someone that dependable they can rely on.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play. And this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. The pass to Thomas. Inside. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
And this is the value of letting the play develop. You find the weakness in the defense.
Here's Williamson. Rebound, Washington. They led by as many as 18 points. Jackson against Thomas. Down low. Over to the wing, and the wide-open shot from Decker. Buries the long-range jumper. Decker! And the Wizards lead by 12.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
Well, this is less about winning the game now and more about making a bold statement.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 6 to shoot. Thomas gets the bucket.
This is the kind of deficit it would take a miracle to overcome.
I think this hometown crowd agrees with you. They are fired up about it.
Ingram right side. The three. And that one's good. Williamson.
Still doing his part, but it hasn't been enough. They need some kind of spark.
And so it's the Wizards with the W. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. John, this team goes as you and Bradley go. What is it like having him with you out there?
Well, we just enjoy playing with each other. He makes things easy for me, pushing the ball in the fast breaks and having the opportunity to find him, and also getting open shots for myself. And he's helped me want to be consistent with my jump shot and making shots and trusting my energy and stuff.
You guys are growing together, John. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Now, for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.